Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us a figgy pudding. Oh, bring us a figgy pudding. Oh, bring us a figgy pudding and a cup of good cheer. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle Follow me in merry measure, la 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 la, while I tell of Yuletide treasure, la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses, la 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 la. Sing rejoice all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, la 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 la.
All right, hi everybody. Tim Bart's here, Law McArthur, Ford, and Salina, Kansas. Where's my chat? My chat's not showing up in the window. Maybe it'll show up here in just a second. But I wanted to just say welcome to everybody. It is we are. Why is that not showing up in there? Should showing up here in a little bit. So our chat should show up on the video there pretty soon. But it is now December 14th, 2021. So if that chat doesn't show up, that's all right. Well, hopefully it does though. But so welcome everybody to the live stream here. I'm really excited about this one. I had a lot of fun this week with the live stream and doing and getting some information for the live stream. Man, why is the stream not showing? That chat should be live. Maybe I gotta turn it on and off, but anyway, we'll get. Hopefully, may not have the stream showing up there on there, but so you may have to pull that up if you're watching this after the live stream. But again, thanks everybody for joining in here with me here, and don't forget if you're not subscribed, if you're joining in for the first time, I did put this out on more social media sites and forums today because I think there's some good things to be learned here in today's video. So I put that out in so many places. So if you're new to the live stream, you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell. That way you can get notified when we have another video uploaded to the channel. Don't forget to smash the like button. We have 34 likes so far, but before you leave, make sure you drop a like there. I'd really appreciate it. And also thanks to everybody in the Law McArthur crew for joining as well. They will have those icons, the little Law McArthur icons by their name there in the chat. So I want to thank everybody for joining in to that as well. And so if you want a little more information about that, right down there by the subscribe button is a join button. Click on that. You can learn more information about our membership and what's going on there and join if you want to. No obligation, of course, but I want to throw that out there that it is available. Also, for those that don't know this, we all are going to be recording this, and it is actually going to go out on our podcast. So I have a podcast platform. You can find it on your favorite social media or your podcast platforms there. We do have it on our website as well. A link is down in the description for that. So you can go to lawmacarthur.com/FordVideoGuy and find it. It's also under the About Us link up there if you want to see all the different past podcasts, listen to it on in your car or whatever. You can do that as well. And of course, if you have any questions, you can see those questions there at the fordvideoguy@gmail.com. And that chat's just not showing up, so that's kind of a bummer. I didn't have any issues with that before, but for some reason it is not showing. Let me see if I can click on that and click back and see if it'll pop up there. I may have to go over here. Let me try one thing real quick. Just give me a second. Let me log in and see if I can get it to show up. There we go. Nope. Probably can't do this real quick. So here, chat box. There we go. Let's see. Well, anyway, so we might not have it tonight, but so hopefully that's not too much of a downfall for people. But anyway, so but we'll continue here. So also some other things to talk about here is I do have a personal YouTube channel there. I talk more about some of the different personal vehicles that I have, what I'm doing to those vehicles and different things like that. I did get my new grill in. In fact, it's sitting right in front of my desk. So I'm waiting on the letters. It didn't come with the letters, so I ordered the letters separately, and they're coming in, and then I'll actually put that on. Probably do a video about that, and then I have some other things happening as well with my Bronco, so check that out. Also, some recent videos I've done, I actually down in the description, you can find that link. I did a video on the 2022 Ford Lightning order process. We now have information, very extensive information. I actually still have it sitting on my desk, so a pretty thick packet of information on exactly how this works. So I did a video on that, went live I think last Friday, so if you want to check that video out, you can. Those of you that are in the live stream that have been asking about Lightning information, there's some information on the order process right there. And for those of you that have a Lightning reservation with us, please, I did email all of you, so please reply back. We want to know if you're planning on still keeping your reservation, or if you plan to cancel. Like to know that, because those invites are going out in waves, and we'd hate for someone that had an early reservation that's in wave 1 end up not getting theirs and wanting to cancel. That would actually hold up somebody else that might have gotten an invitation for wave 1, or the first wave. So we want to know that so that we can prioritize and move people around. We don't plan on moving anybody around because it's just not fair to those that got in there, got the reservation in. Like I think I'm in the 9th spot. I don't plan on moving myself up to 1. But what we are going to do is, if we find some people that are planning to cancel and they haven't canceled, of moving those people that we know are going to cancel down to the bottom, so that way it moves those other people up so that they can get those invites from that first wave. So check out that video if you want. And then, of course, if you have a Lightning reservation with us, we have about 115 with us. Please check your email inbox and reply to that email and let us know if you plan on keeping your reservation or not, and want to forego and go over to that order process. So we'll talk more about that in just a little bit, how that works. Let's move on into scheduling for this week. So what vehicles are being scheduled? About everything, but that's with whatever allocations you have. In fact, let me pull up our allocations here. Pull that up. There we go. We don't have a lot of allocations for models here, but scheduling this week, we do have the 2022 Mustang can be scheduled. We do not have any Mustang allocations. Yeah, actually, we do have 2. We have 2 allocations, but it doesn't look like we don't have any that are going to be scheduled this week. Bronco is also being scheduled this week. We have already used all of our allocations for December. And it does say if you're wanting a Bronco to be scheduled, to consider removing the paint protection package and the tow capacity package on yours to get scheduled. So they are trying to help people fulfill their allocations by telling them, hey, consider this on a couple of your orders, and they're more likely to get scheduled. Also, 22 EcoSport can be scheduled this week. 22 Edge, 22 Escape, retail only. Retail means custom orders. So if you put in a custom order on Escape, they're not going to do any stock allocations, but they are going to do Escape allocations scheduling this week. 22 Explorer, 22 Expedition, and mine hopefully will get scheduled. We have 3 allocations available this week. And mine's not previewing yet, but it is in priority 1, which means the region looked at it, and it's a lot of times on some of the A plans, they'll move them up. They saw it was my order, so they did move it up to priority 1, which is pretty cool. So hopefully they schedule mine for I think it'd be probably for a February build date, and getting it in March, which my lease is up in March, so that'd be great. 22 Maverick getting scheduled this week. We have 0 allocations left for that. We used all of our allocations last week, and as you can tell from the title, we're going to talk about that in just a little bit when we get to our topic. Ford Ranger 22 is going to be scheduled this week. F-150, we do need some F-150 scheduled, so hopefully we have 49 allocations left. Hopefully we really need those F-150 allocations and stock allocations for our inventory. Super Duty also is getting scheduled this week, and they did say don't forget about those items that were mentioned last week. There's a few items that are only available on retail orders, not stock orders. Black appearance package, I think the adaptive steering, some other things that are only available on retail orders for the rest of 2022. Also, Transit Connect Van and Wagon and Transit are getting, those are also scheduling. One thing you did not notice, Bronco Sport is not scheduling this week, and we have 7 Bronco Sport allocations. So it looks like we may not be using all of our Bronco Sport allocations this month and get those moved to next month. And then on the Lincoln side, we do have Corsair. It's going to be scheduled this week, retail only. So those custom orders, Nautilus, Aviator, and Navigator also scheduled for build dates. So a couple things to kind of mention on, I kind of looked up build and price. On Ford.com, you can build out and build your vehicle. These are the 22 build and prices that are available for what models. So Escape has it available, Bronco Sport, Bronco, Explorer, Edge, Mach-E, Maverick, Super Duty, Transit Connect, and E-Transit. Those are all the build and prices are available. Expedition is not on there yet. Waiting for that one. Of course, I already have my order and I know what I wanted from the order guide, but that is not available. So now here in just a little bit, didn't mention this earlier, but our topic for tonight, the what can we learn from 104 scheduled Mavericks. We're going to talk about that at 7:30, 7:30 my time. So in 20 minutes, we're going to talk about that. Was doing that at 45 minutes into the hour, but this week I know there's going to be a lot of questions about some things that we're going to talk about during that topic time. So I moved it up so that we can get to talking about that. So last couple things I want to talk about that's Ford, usually Ford in the news report here. Something that Maverick has showed up in the news, and the Forbes award, their Forbes Wheel Award. Car of the Year award is the Ford Maverick. So it did get another award yet for this year, and it is the Car of the Year. So not small truck or compact truck of the year, but car of the year. So I do have a link to that article down in the description. You can check that out if you want to read that article. Pretty cool. A little article talks about Maverick and why they chose the Maverick as their car of the year. Also, 2022 Ford Lightning news. So a little input from the video that I did. Is that this year they are doing something a little differently on these than they did on the Maverick or the Bronco, in that they are taking those reservations by the timeline that those reservations were put in, and then they're going to send out invites every 2 weeks to those customers until all the 22 orders are filled up. And so once they fill them up, then they won't have customers do a 22 order and then have to convert that over to 23. Instead, they're just going to hold them off until 23's model year order banks open back up. So that's the way that's going to work. It's going to happen in January. That's when it's going to start. Hopefully I get an invite in the first wave. Being 9th in our dealership, I think I probably will. So hopefully I can go through that process, and I'll record that process when I'm able to do that, so you can kind of see that happen. We'll do a separate video with that, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Now, there is prioritization that a dealership can do. We have over 100 orders, so we have 25 of those, which means we can prioritize some orders over others. And like I said, we're not gonna like move people up. You know, like we have 3 dealership employees here that have reservations for Lightnings, but we're not moving us up to 1, 2, and 3. We had kind of talked, a couple of us said, as long as we're in the first wave, that's really all that matters for us, and we're going to be able to get our order in. So there's no reason to kind of move around. It's not really fair to do that. So it is based on your timeline. And so what we are going to do is anybody that we know of that plans to cancel but hasn't canceled yet by Friday, we are going to move them down, because we know they're going to cancel, getting that confirmation from them verbally as well as an email that they plan to cancel. We'll move them down. So we'll use our prioritization to move people down, which will help move everybody else up and fill those positions. So that way, all the invites that go out, our case and the way we looked at it is, let's say there's 20 invites going out for that first wave, and let's say there's 5 people that planned on canceling within that. Well, then only 15 of the 20 are going to be able to convert their orders over. We could have had 5 other people be able to convert their orders over in that first wave and be able to order their vehicle. And so that's why we want to know what's going on with those orders and those reservations. So if you get those emails, make sure you email us back so we can get that done. Also, something kind of neat. Got an email today. I forgot to bring it in. I'll just have to read it off of my email here on my computer. And I know when I turn left, you guys don't hear me, so let me move my mic here. I noticed that in last week's live stream, but we did get a really cool email from our rep about Maverick allocations. So let me kind of read this off to you once I can get it pulled up. Wow, we got a lot of people have emailed me back, so let me find this email. Here we go. So we are going to be getting 2 hybrid allocations given to us by the region. It says, great news, you will be receiving 2 Maverick hybrid orders below for stock. We had Maverick hybrids that were built for company vehicle service that will now be released to dealers. The vehicles are awaiting rebill and will hopefully be shipped by the end of the year. So we should be seeing those in January, it looks like. And it says that the earn was determined by reservation and retail order performance. So based on how many reservations we got and also how many we converted over to orders, retail orders, and that performance, that's why we were given both of those hybrid allocations and vehicles. And looks like we have one's going to be an XL carbonized gray, and the other is an XLT Velocity blue. So we'll have those available for customers, some hybrid stock allocations. And we also found out we're getting 9 EcoBoost allocations as well, stock allocations, based on our performance and how we're doing. They came in and did an audit and checked all of our data matches on all of our retail orders, and we did great. Flying colors, I think we had a few that we needed an email on, but outside of just those couple, we had no issues with any of our orders. So Ford can tell by that they're going through and auditing every dealership for that. Because basically, if you have a custom order in there, a customer order, which is a retail order, and you need to deliver it to that customer. So if there's dealerships putting in fake orders, then they're going to get penalized for that. So, and we're able to match that up and without any problems whatsoever there. So I got about 15 minutes, so a couple things that I do want to talk about before we get into tonight's topic that do have to do with the Maverick. Some people had asked me to mention this and talk about this. There's been some rumors and some different things about a couple different topics. One of them is the hybrid motor delay until 2023. Not sure exactly what they're talking about there, but I think some dealers are telling customers that your hybrid order isn't going to get built till 23. They've been delayed and everything, and I'm like, so I don't understand where they're getting that, but because we already have some that have been delivered. So we had 13 that were built that are being delivered this month. We have several that are getting built this month that are going to take delivery next month. And we had 39 hybrids scheduled last week, which we'll talk about that in just a little bit, that are scheduled for February, I think January, February build dates. So I know for a fact they are building hybrids. They're not being delayed, so that's just bogus. Again, busted that myth, so that is not happening. So just know that you don't worry about those hybrids. You have the hybrid order in there, don't worry about it. Now, keep in mind, I have had some people ask, hey, I put my hybrid order in, and November 1st, I haven't heard anything. Well, just get in line, because basically there's still some orders in June, July that haven't been scheduled yet. And if you have an order June, July, August, and it's a hybrid and you're kind of concerned and worried, don't be worried. There were a lot of early orders that were hybrids. So it will take a little while to get those scheduled for production, but it will happen. So just be patient there on those. If you have an EcoBoost that's ordered back then, that might be something to be concerned about. And we'll talk more about what our unscheduled orders look like for us here at the dealership on a larger scale than what other local dealers have. But that's something to be thinking about too. So, and that kind of brings into a topic that I want to talk about salespeople out there. And I don't know how many salespeople watch the live stream or anything, but one thing that is frustrating for customers out there is when you have salespeople that don't think about it and don't stop and they want to be able to show how smart and intelligent they are, and how much they know. And so sometimes they say things that aren't true, or that they haven't fact checked out there, and they just set it to be able to respond. And sometimes it's okay to say, I don't know, let me go find out, or let me find out and get back to you. There's nothing wrong with that. I've always been in the belief to get the right information before giving it. There's been a lot of people that have asked me, hey, I heard this is happening with Mavericks. Is that true? Can you tell us, Tim? And I always stop. They don't respond right away, because actually early on I did. I was like, oh, that's not true at all. It's just, that back when the 4K tow package was coming out, and there was news that broke on one day, and I'm like, well, that's not true. It's just a late availability. And then I found out it was true. So it's always good to say, I don't think it's true, but let me check. And I did check and find out that it was correct. So, it's always good to make sure you stop, get all your facts in a row before you open your mouth. A lot of you will know that about me. If I mention something, when I talk about it, it's what is true at that time. Right now, there is a video that's trending on Maverick Truck Club. A video that I did back in September about how to order your Maverick to get it scheduled quickly. And again, that was information at that time that was available according to constraints that were going on at that time. And every month it can be a little different. So, I did tell some people, now keep in mind that was information when I made that video in September that was true. So, you have to take that for what it is there, and know that some things could have changed between now and then and now. So just keep that in mind. And it's also in that someone has asked, they asked me to kind of explain too, I had kind of mentioned in there that retail orders were going to take precedence over any stock orders. And I think they were confused, and they thought I was being redundant there, but a stock and a retail order are separate. So a retail order in definition is for a customer. That is a customer retail order. A stock order is for inventory. So that is for dealer inventory. So stock equals dealer inventory. Retail equals a special custom build for a customer. So it is for somebody that ordered one specifically the way they wanted it, with the right colors they wanted it, with the equipment they wanted. So that's what retail means. So retail orders will always be looked at before any stock allocations. That's why you probably haven't seen a lot of dealers receiving any stock Maverick allocations, because there's too many custom orders, retail orders still out there not scheduled yet. So, like for us, we had a couple early on because they wanted to get some at dealers and inventory. So we did see that, but we haven't seen any yet because there's been so many orders being put in that you're not going to see any of those for just a little bit. So so that's the way that's going to work. We are starting to see some, because we're down to, I think right now, as of yesterday, we had 29 EcoBoost orders that have not been scheduled, and that's all we're left with. I could see this next month in January getting a lot of those scheduled and being down to where not having any. When we get to the point where we have no EcoBoost orders, we'll start getting some we'll start getting some stock allocations scheduled, because they're going to want to build both hybrids and EcoBoost both. And so as long as we have, if we don't have zero EcoBoost, if we have some stock orders in the bank, then they'll pull some of those stock orders at that time. So just like when on the Expedition right now, there are 3 Expeditions that we have that need to be scheduled. And so they're going to schedule those before they schedule any of the others. So, just keep that in mind there. So every time I look over at the chat, at the streaming software, I see that the chat missing over there. Sorry, folks. I hope you're expected to see that each week, but I have no idea why it's not showing up. But I want to stop and try to figure that out. But I don't want to take up any of the stream here. See if I can get this to work here real quick. Let me try one thing real quick. See if I can get it to work. If it doesn't work, then all right. So that's not working. So all right. So I'm not sure why it's not working, but anyway. All right. Anyway, so, so just looking at that. But also the other question somebody had was that they heard that there was a chip shortage, and that's why some orders are being delayed. And I kind of referenced a little bit last week, kind of skimmed over it last week because I actually did get information. I know the facts about that. So I kind of skimmed over it last week and said that there was some material hold, some issues with some quality material, and the quality materials were chips. So I didn't want to, Ford's really nervous about hearing, chip information out there, a chip shortage, because I know people are tired of hearing about it. So they don't want to bring that up or mention it. But I think a lot of you out there, that you just want the facts, right? You just want to know what's accurate. And so there was some issue with some quality of the chips they received. So they had to get rid of a batch. That's why a lot of orders were moved. And a lot of people have asked, why is my order moved? Should I be concerned that it's not going to be built? Because that was the other rumor, that hybrid orders are being delayed, and they were actually all the orders were being delayed. Hybrid and EcoBoost were getting pushed back as well. My daughter's got pushed back like a week or two. I think hers was scheduled to be built this week, and it's pushed back to next week. So it's happening with EcoBoost as well as hybrid orders, not just hybrids. And it was some of the quality. And Ford's, what I love about Ford is they're not gonna, if the quality's not there, they're gonna halt, they're gonna move things back, they're gonna push some of those build days back. But wouldn't you rather have your vehicle ordered correctly and then not have it get here and then have to get it sit on a dealer lot while you wait for a chip to show up for it, and then try to get them to different dealerships instead? Let's just get a new batch. So they did say they paid almost double. They paid more money to get a new batch in as soon as possible, and they says they are up and running. That's why the 1 week, the first week in December, when I said it should be a big week for scheduling, and we only had like 10 or 13 scheduled that week. That's what happened that week. That was the week that happened. But this last week, as we saw, there was 104 that were scheduled. So you see that did pick up. So we didn't have any issues there. So up and running with a lot of orders, and we're going to talk about those here in about 5 minutes. We're going to talk about the 104 scheduled orders we have, and all the analytics and everything. Hopefully you will enjoy that, and you're into that kind of information, because I'm going to geek out a little bit and talk about that. So are there any questions in here in the chat that I could answer? I know I've kind of been I've been not being mindful of the chat in here, so let me scroll. I don't see. And of course, if you have any questions for me directly, make sure you tag at Law McArthur, so that that can pop up and I can see that. It pops up in orange, so I can see it. All right, so I got scheduled last Thursday. Thanks, Law McArthur Ford. Oh, all right, great. So got scheduled. Let's see what else. So good evening. Hello, a shout out from the newly formed Michigan Maverick Truck Club. Most of us who are still waiting delivery. So even those in Michigan that are near Ford there are waiting for theirs too as well. So somebody did put in here on 12/6, it went into chip hold status and has been there ever since. So like I mentioned, that's kind of why I mentioned that. So even though they had told me it wasn't really for public knowledge, since a lot of people, somebody else kind of broke it, I feel like I could talk about it. I didn't bring it up. Somebody else did, and I was able to confirm or deny it. So that's why I felt like I did tell my general manager, I says, I'm going to talk about it tonight because people are asking about it, and I want to make sure that I don't. I've always been big of answering any questions. So I didn't receive. Okay, Vicky, make sure you send me your email address. So go to fordvideoguy@gmail and send me your email address. I do have a couple notebooks that need to go out, and I'm sorry for that. I've been a little busy trying to catch up on some phone calls and things like that. So I will try to get that out to you. So make sure you've emailed me at Ford Video Guy. I think I have some in there, emails in there about the notebooks. I'll get that sent out to my member. So thanks for reminding me. All right, so I ordered a hybrid 712, changed Eco 10.6, and back to hybrid 11.2. The door my dealer gave me showed receipt dates with those dates. Is that supposed to change? Should be 712. There was something that came out. Well, actually, you didn't change it in December, but the original, the date that's on your Dora will be the date that was printed. So any changes are made, that's the date it's going to show, not your original order date. That is actually, they would have to go into Webdo and be able to pull that up and see that. So like I did make a change on mine, and mine changed to 11/15 because I had made a change in December, which they said not to. And so mine got moved, which I actually was just testing the system to see if that's what would happen, and it did. So just kind of verifying that. So, all right. Well, thanks for the donation there. I did so proud to be the first super chat. So thank you very much for that super chat donation there. As I go back up to look for any up there, if you drive your Maverick to Kansas. Free handshakes for Law McArthur if you drive your Maverick to Kansas. Yep. So I have some people coming, and we actually delivered a Maverick today. Somebody got theirs delivered to their house in Indiana today. I saw that on Facebook as well. And then, of course, this last week, we had our first hybrid that was delivered in California. It was a drop ship. I think I got there last Monday. I didn't know about it before the live stream. It showed up to the dealership there, and the customer wasn't able to pick it up until Friday just because their schedule was busy. So they took delivery and actually drove about 200 miles over the weekend and got 39 miles per gallon on the highway, mostly highway driving. So for those of you who have hybrids and it's coming in, you're going to enjoy that fuel economy. All right, June said, is there a way to know whether your hybrid build that got postponed is postponed due to chip shortage? Any word on how long the shortage will last? It was for a very short time. We should they told us it should be up and running and back going. That's why they all got moved about a week. And so it wouldn't be necessarily that your order was delayed for chip, but all of them were. So that's why they moved all the orders. About all the orders that happened in this last week got moved back a week, and that's why they only scheduled a few, because they knew all these other orders were going to get moved, and so that's why they did not have a big scheduling week last week, or the week before, I should say, not last week. The week before was because of that. So it shouldn't affect any more orders, and they should be up and running with production same as normal now. Saying I was scheduled, what does that mean? If you got an email saying you were scheduled, that means that's when the week that your vehicle is scheduled to be built. So that's a good thing. So you got that email, it'll show, let's say if it says, hey, mine's scheduled to be built, the week of 12/13, that means it's going to be built sometime this week. So typically you'll be built to the week, and then the week before, usually Thursday, Friday, hopefully you get an email that says yours is going to be built on this day. So that's usually how that works. So it is now 7:30. I was going to talk about the topic. There are a couple questions in there, but let's talk about what we learned from our 104 scheduled Maverick orders. So we had 104 Maverick orders scheduled. So I'm going to move the mic over here so you guys can hear me, and I'm going to show you my screen here. Let me go there first, and let me just make sure this is working right. There's about a 10-second delay between my stream and what it shows up on there, but I want to make sure you guys can see my screen here before I get started. So we had 104 of our orders that got scheduled for build weeks for most of them for the last week of January, February, first couple weeks of February. So let's see how this works here. I'm making sure my stream shows up because I can't see it correctly in here. There you go. Yep, you can see it. So might be a little fuzzy there for you, but I'll try to, kind of go through things. So we have, of our orders, we had 104 orders that were scheduled this week. And as you can see, I put everything in here. So I put in what body code it had, I put in what trim it has, what engine, the date that the order was originally put in, their build week. I even put in what packages they have, and even broke it down on the XLT between the spray and bed liner and the drop-in liner. And I also put in all the other packages. I had the standalone options, spray in bed liner. That's SIBL is spray in bed liner, and DIBL is drop in bed liner. Bed mat, moonroof, the sliding rear windows, SRW, the hitch, the standalone hitch, the full size spare, 400 watt outlet, the floor liners, tonneau covers, any of the tonneau covers, and then the engine block heater, the optional 17-inch wheel, 18-inch wheel, and then the rest of these other rows here are actually dealer installed options that people might have ordered on there. So I put everything in there, as you can tell. So hopefully very thorough. Like I said, I geeked out. I actually spent like all day Thursday going through these. So of these orders, let's break it down. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom where our totals are here. So of those, 63 of the 104, so 60% of them were front wheel drive, 41 were 4x4s, and of course 4x4s have to be EcoBoost for that. Breakdown of the engine. We had 39 that were hybrid orders, so 37% of our orders were hybrids, and 65 were EcoBoost orders, so 62%. So you can kind of see Ford had originally at one point about a month ago or a couple months ago had said about 40% of their orders were going to be hybrid. Our numbers actually hold pretty close to that. So, and then also broke it down by trims. So total between EcoBoost and hybrids, 30 were XL, 56 XLT, 18 were Lariat. There's your percentages right beside that, 28, 53. So more than half were XLT. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up because there's some people had mentioned, see if I get this right. So 50% of the people had, or some people had said, hey, wouldn't Ford just want to give the one that makes them the most money and by going to the Lariat trim? Well, you can see by the numbers there, that's not true. They're going to go what they can build more likely than they are for the certain trim. So keep that in mind with that. So, okay, going back down, hopefully I did that right. I went back to the camera and hopefully I'm waiting for it to show up on that screen here. There we go. So, and then, so you can see that. So I even broke it down from for the 2.5 liters. So of all the hybrid orders, what was the breakdown? 16 were XL, 17 were XLT, and 6 were Lariat trim. So you can see it pretty even between XL, XLT. And then when you go to the EcoBoost, you'll see they were heavily to the XLT trim there and pretty even between XL and the Lariat trim. So there's kind of a breakdown on the trim. Some notes that I want to point out is that we had, of all of our hybrid orders, 0 of them, 0 hybrid orders had the XLT luxury package, 0. But if we look up here, 6 had the Lariat luxury package. So I want to kind of talk about the bed liner issue here. A lot of people are trying to decide, should I switch over to the XLT luxury package with the drop-in bed liner or not? And we're going to talk about that. So, and keep in mind, Lariat luxury package gets a spray-in bed liner. They don't have an option. That is what they're going to get. There is no drop-in with the Lariat luxury package, so they're going to focus in on those. So you notice 6 hybrid orders. Actually, I think it was more than that. Let me go down here. So yeah, 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the orders had the hybrid or had the Lariat luxury package. 0 have the XLT luxury package. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell the colors there, but I highlighted those a green color there. But you can see there, 0 XLT luxury packages in the orders. Also, something else to note is all of the orders that were that we had, all the hybrids that were scheduled, were almost 32 out of the 39 were June, July orders. So if you have an August, September hybrid order, October, just hold tight. It might be a little while before you get scheduled. So it's just something to keep in mind with that. Those other 7 of the 39 were early August orders. So if you look here, we have an 8.4, an 8.9, an 8.10, an 8.2, an 8.5, an 8.4, an 8.6. They were all in the first 10 days of August as well. So you want to look at that too. Now, I will say this, even though there weren't any XLT luxury packages on any of the hybrid orders, there were optional spray and bed liners and drop-in liners chosen. So as you can see there, I don't know if I got that here. Let's just go ahead and highlight this and see what the count is for these orders here. So let's see how many drop-in liners, or spray liners, I mean. So we had 13 of the 39, and that's not counting the other 5. So add those 5. So now we're 18 out of the 39 had a spray-in bed liner was added to it. Drop-in liners, we have 1, 2, just 2. In fact, if you go down the bottom, I totaled it. We have 2 standalone drop-in liners both of those were hybrid orders. Keep that in mind. And as I mentioned, there were 13 spray and bed liners that were optional, and we have 17 total. So there are only 4 optional spray and liners outside of a hybrid order. So you can tell they're trying to focus on the hybrid orders, or trying to give them as many as they can. So we're seeing what's going on there. So also look, I highlighted down here, these are all the options for spray-in and drop-in liners, so you can get a clue. I know there was a dealer out there that has a lot of orders, sending out emails to their customers, telling them to go ahead, and that what they need to do is switch their XLT luxury package to with the spray-in liner to the XLT luxury package with the drop-in liner. Don't necessarily need to do that. As I can point out here, and proof of that is that they said they're not scheduling it. There's like a 6-month delay on spray and bed liners for your orders. So if you want to get your scheduled, move it over to drop-in liner. Well, that's not true. I have proof of that right here in our numbers. So if you look at this, you can see that we have 14 and 13 and 10. Oops, hold on. There we go. So 44 of the orders have a spray and bed liner. 44 of our orders, oops, let me hit that again. Make sure I'm right there. Yeah, 44 of our 104 orders have a spray and bed liner on them, and only 12 have the drop-in liner. So, something to think about. And I know there's going to be less orders with the drop-in liner than the spray-in liner. So that is something to think about. So, I'm sure, a lot of those early orders are going to have the spray in instead of the drop in if they left it that way. So that might have something to do with it. But as you can tell, Ford is scheduling spray and bed liners. They're going to schedule them until they get to the point where they know that's all they can handle. And then they're going to move on to other orders. So that's why there are there are still some orders in June, July that we have that are hybrids, that they pulled some August orders, because they probably got to that point where they couldn't schedule those because they had a spray and liner or whatever. So they moved to an order maybe that did not have one. So that's going to happen. So I guess my point is, should you switch your order from an XLT luxury package with a spray and liner to a drop-in liner luxury package? It's up to you if you don't mind it. I did show you some, there's some images there on the thumbnail, if you saw that earlier, what that looks like. And if you're okay with that, you can do that, because they are going to pull some drop-in liners, because the great thing about it now is having that available is they can pull more orders of luxury packages, because now they have some with drop-in and some without. So if you look at some of our EcoBoost orders, we actually did have quite a few that were scheduled in November, December, which shocked me a little bit. I'm like, we still have orders in September, but if you look at some of those, a 360 package, drop-in bed liner, so they're, trying to get some of those. So you're going to see some of those maybe jump in front. And we've had, I've had somebody ask, why are they not going in order? Well, the region is going to push that. In fact, I have a note here at the bottom of mine. I don't know if you guys are looking at my screen now. It should be. Okay, so if you look down here at the bottom, I actually do have a note in here that says all of our priority 2 statuses are June, July orders. So the region is saying, hey Ford, hey the factory, we want you to schedule these. That's our goal. Get these vehicles scheduled, and that's what they're trying to do. But the factory will do what they want. So there are some that were priority 10 that got scheduled instead of some of the priority 2s, because the factory does what they know, what they can handle and what parts they have available. The region doesn't. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for there. So now let's go back down here. I think I'm on the screen here. So looking down here, there's some other numbers that I have that I thought were interesting down here at the bottom. 46% of our 104 orders have the Copilot 360 package. So about half of them, almost half, had the Copilot 360. Now we know that of the 18 Lariats with the Lariat luxury package are going to have them. So of course, not all those Lariats have the luxury package, but 14, I guess, of the 18. So those 14 have to have that Copilot 360 package. But and then also these other breakdown percentages. So 13% of the orders that were scheduled had the Lariat luxury package. 12.5% of the 104 orders had the XLT luxury package with the spray and bed liner, and 9% had the XLT luxury package with the drop-in bed liner. And these numbers right below that is the percentage of the 13 of all the orders with the XLT luxury package. So, or all the XLTs, I should say. So that's, I believe that's that number. 56 is XLTs. Yeah. So that's 13 of the 56 of the total XLTs have the XLT luxury package with the spray and bed liner, and 17% of them with the drop-in bed liner. So anyway, so some interesting numbers of all the all-wheel drives. 70% of our all-wheel drives have the tow package. I thought that was interesting to note there. So a lot of people getting all-wheel drive are getting the tow package to go along with it, which makes a lot of sense, including my daughter's order, which actually is not included in this 104, but hers has the tow package as well. And then you can see the different breakdown. Here's another thing to note is the tonneau covers. Something else that I want to make note. We had 8 of our orders have the tonneau cover on them. So that accounts for 7% of our orders with the tonneau cover. Now, one of two things could happen there, and the reason for that, one of them could be the fact that we've told a lot of our customers to take the tonneau covers off. That could be one point. And the other could be that they are scheduling a low number. I think a couple months ago they said 3% of the orders would have the tonneau covers. Of our orders, 7%. So it looks like maybe they have more of those covers in stock, or my opinion is more people have taken those tonneau covers off, knowing that the dealership can install them. So any of these things, I kind of note a lot of these columns here. Spray and bed line, drop-in liner. Some of these things can be done at the factory, but can be done at the dealer. But spray and bed liner, sliding rear window, hitch, full size spare, the 400 watt outlet. Those are all things that probably want to be getting done at the factory. So go ahead and put those on there. It doesn't look like those are causing any delays. 25% on most of those things, and it may be just because that's how many orders we had with those things on there. So that may have nothing to do with any kind of supply issues whatsoever. That Ford hasn't told us any of that. Whereas tonneau covers could be. And then the rest of these are, engine block heaters, also something you probably want to get from the factory. And then, of course, also if you want any of the upgraded wheels too. But then you look at the wheel lock kit, touch link, all those. Really doesn't look like any of those dealer installed options are being a delay. They're more of, there's small amounts down here, but that's just because I think there's just less people ordering some of those, knowing that they can get it from, Ford Accessories and install most of those themselves. The touch link, the wheel lock kit is just, in a sense, removing one of the lug nuts off of each of the wheels and putting the other one on. Tailgate lock is something you can put on yourself. Toolbox, one person with a toolbox, and then console vault is something that's dealer installed as well. So just a couple of things to note there, but let's see. Anyway, actually, I don't think you were looking at the screen there. But anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I actually had a lot of fun going through that. Actually, the beginning part of it wasn't fun, getting all the putting everything in there and all that. But I thought it was good information to have because, there aren't a lot of dealers with a lot of orders. And, when it was 104, I'm like, hey, this is almost perfect. So we can get some really easy percentages without having to do a lot of calculation. So hopefully, this could be some great information everybody has. First edition, somebody said only one first edition scheduled. That's correct. Very few first editions scheduled. Only one out of there. Anyway, so let me, something else I want to go through before I answer any questions there. And I kind of wanted to go through how many orders we have left. So, as of 12/10, so I guess this was last Friday, we still had, 430 orders in our WebDo, 116 EcoBoost, 314 hybrids. Of those orders, we had 282 still unscheduled, and that's after 104, and 29 were EcoBoost, and 253 were hybrid. So we're down to about 29 of those. I did go through and still kind of geeking out just a little bit here. And I went through our EcoBoost orders to break it down between the different trims. Only one is XL, 10 XLT, and 18 Lariat trims. And then we still have some EcoBoost orders dated June, July. We have about 5 June, July orders. I know of one for a fact because we're waiting for the customer to get back with us that ordered the front wheel drive with the 4K tow package and has not let us know what they want to do. So whether or not they're going to all-wheel drive or take off the tow package, and we hate to switch their order without their confirmation, but we're waiting for them to email us back or give us a call. We've had lots of calls into them, but and then we do have several still on those and different other, 3 from August, 3 from September, 4 from October, a bunch from November and December. But we still have a few, we have about 10 or so that's, June, July, August orders for EcoBoost. Now on the hybrid though, we have 11 orders that were ordered in June for hybrid still not scheduled. We have 53 July orders still not scheduled. 26 August, 19 September, 22 in October, and 17 November. So people that have a hybrid scheduled in October, November, or even September, and they're wondering why theirs isn't scheduled yet, and it's because there's still a lot of orders June, July, August that have not been scheduled. So I know they're trying hard to get those scheduled before they move on to the others. So anyway, some information there for you that I wanted to let you know about. So hopefully that kind of made some enlighten us just a little bit there. So any Lariats pulled. Yeah, we talked about that. What did we talk about, Larry? You must have just jumped on, but we talked about, we had sound effects there. We had 18 Lariats scheduled out of our 104 last week. Okay, when might we see LIGMA package for the Maverick 2023 model year? Not sure what LIGMA. I've heard that before, but for some reason it's just gone out of my mind. I'm not sure exactly what package that is, and you only need to put it in there once, Griffin. So yeah, I'm not sure what that package is, but anyway. All right. Any insight as to how many allocations you'll get for January? I'm guessing next week. Our meeting is next Tuesday. So we will be getting information next Tuesday on, we may not get our actual allocation numbers by Tuesday. We'll get some, first look at based on some of it and get some insight. Our wholesale meeting is next Tuesday. So probably by the live stream, I won't have actual numbers yet. But anyway, but hopefully I can give you some insight by next week, but probably the week after is when we'll have actual numbers for January, exactly how many we get. So kind of excited that they're doing, I thought maybe they do scheduling the first week of January, but so it's really nice to see that they're doing that before the holiday, so we can get some insight on that. So, all right, moving on down. Crazy World, have they told you when the Lightning build and price will be active? They just told us in January, and there was some note to that. So some information on that is that they're going to have build and price available. So basically the way it's going to work on this one is you can do the order completely online. So you do not have to do it through the dealer. So the dealer will be the delivering dealer, but when you can go on, you can pick all your options and everything, and you can go ahead and close out. So where you'd see the summary and everything, on like we did with the Maverick or any of the others, you actually be able to just choose all your options and move through. And so it's going to have to be available. And so they said before they send out new invites for each wave, they will reset the configure with what options are available. So as some things aren't become available, if they close out or they get so many of the early orders with certain batteries, like extended batteries, so let's say if a lot of the first couple waves all want extended batteries and they're running out of batteries and aren't able to do that to fulfill their orders, they may actually show you that extended battery is not available. And then when you get that invite, if you see a configuration that doesn't fit for you, you can contact the dealer and ask them what to do. But basically what will happen is that is what's going to be available for the configure and what configuration you can get. And if you don't like that configuration, you have a choice to either pick a different configuration or hold your order for 23 if you're wanting to wait, or the third option is to cancel the order. You're going to have those options. So I kind of like how they're going to refresh that and let you know what's available, just like with the hybrid, where they closed out, in the middle of November for the rest of the year. It'll be kind of like that. So if they get to a situation where, they're out of batteries because everybody wants extended battery, and you can't get that, they can say, well, we can give you standard battery on the rest of the orders here on out. Then you have that option to either go with the standard battery or elect to wait for 23 and that kind of thing. So anyway, so kind of interested in waiting for that. But January is when we should get more information on order guides as well as the build and price. Will probably be up in that month. They didn't tell us when in January, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, on that. All right, Seth asked, how many hybrid Lariat luxury orders does Long McArthur have? Hybrid Lariat luxury package does Long McArthur have? We did talk about that. We had, 5? Oh, how many do we have left? I didn't go into that specifically because with 253, it took me a good 6 hours to go through 104 orders. To go through the other 253, it would probably take a couple days to go through to kind of break that down. But the ones that were scheduled this last week, what did we say? 5 of them had the Lariat luxury package from the hybrids. All right, Tim's still a bit confused about allocations. If smaller dealers are only getting single-digit allocations each month, how will all their orders get built? It's kind of on a percentage, just like with ours. I mean, like I said, we had prior to this, when we have 430 orders and we still have 282 left. So we had 104 to get scheduled, which is only, basically about a fourth of our orders got scheduled. So we still have 3/4 of our orders not scheduled. So even a smaller dealership, let's say they have 10 orders, they may get 2 orders, 3 orders scheduled. And so the others are needing to be put off as well. So it's just in a smaller scale, but still percentage-wise should work about the same. So that's hopefully that kind of helps out. And allocations, it's basically the way it starts is the nation looks at it and then they say, okay, this is how many we can build in the factory this month coming up. Okay, based on that and based on how many orders each region has, then they divvy it out by percentages of here's this region's going to get this many, this region's going to get this many. We're in Kansas City region, so we're going to get a lot. The region's going to get a allotted amount. And then the region can divvy them up and say, okay, based on this, however many we get, okay, let's look and see what dealers have orders. And it's not necessarily the dealer that has the most orders. It's going to go by percentage. And they might even look at by what vehicle orders are out there in the early ones and try to get those. So, 1 month we may have a lower number because maybe a dealership, got missed out on or something or whatever. And so that's usually how that works. So they're going to, divide them out within their dealerships within their region as well. We do have the majority of the orders in the Kansas City region. And we do have, I think Granger Ford is in our region as well. And I know they have a bunch of orders. But, based on that, we're still, like I said, we got 104 orders last month. Not sure how many other dealers got, or actually we had 118 for November, December. So this month, I don't know how many we're going to get. I mean, we do have 282 orders, but I really don't think we'll see another 100-digit number necessarily next month. Just because the last time it was for a 2-month total. So I'd probably see if we see 50, 60. We'll just have to see. I have a build date of 2/7, 2.0 XLT with luxury package spray and bed liner only. Don't see it on your spreadsheet. It might be on there. If it's with our dealership, it's in there. I grayed out all the order numbers. I didn't want people to see those, but your orders should be in there. So you have a 2.0 EcoBoost XLT with the luxury package. So, it's probably one of these orders. Here's a 2.7. Who knows if it's that order or that one, but like I said, we do have several EcoBoost orders in here. Of course, you're not seeing my screen right now with the Lariat luxury package with the spray and bed liner. So it could be one of these. So there's still quite a few in here. Like I said, there's 13 with the XLT luxury package with the spray and bed liner. So it's probably one of those 13, but it should be in there. So, All right, Super Dave. Any idea when the building price? Okay, I already asked about that. Oh, for the 22 F-150 non-Lightning. Don't know about that either. That's one of the building prices that wasn't mentioned. So been waiting on that because the order guide's been out for a good. We've been able to order them for about a month or two, so I'm not sure when we're going to see that. I did see there was an update to the price list for the F-150, so I'm wondering if they need that updated price list before they can have it go live, so maybe we'll see it soon, hopefully. Here's our way to track shipping of Maverick truck. When yours get shipped out, you should get an email that says, here's your expected delivery date. And then that window is usually pretty darn close to when you should be able to get it. Now, if you want to, it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're wanting to track it in that process, I will tell you, because they're trying to ship out so many vehicles, that it may not actually show you. I know on my Bronco, when I got an email that said yours should arrive between these dates, and I was going into our internal system, dealers can look it up, by the way, and mine still, it said the whole time for the 4 weeks I was waiting, it said it was in the one spot the entire time, but it had moved, but it wasn't tracked. So it wasn't being tracked at all. So I wasn't able to see it in the process of getting moved. Like we had an order the other day, we looked up for somebody that we saw it was in Kansas. It said it was in Muncie, Kansas. And I'm like, well, that means it got off the rail. It's at the ramp. It was like, I think it was the day before I talked to him, and I said it should be here within a week. So really, at that point, it's just waiting for a shipper to pick up, a load of trucks to come this way, and then we should see it. So really stick to that date and just be patient. It should arrive around that time. You can call your dealer. They can look it up. It's called vehicle visibility with your order number. They can look it up. If they click on the link of the VIN number, a lot of people don't know this, click on the link of the VIN number, it opens up and expands all the different checkpoints of when it was put on the rail and everything. It'll say in production, it will say build date, all that kind of stuff. And then it'll say it was put on the rail on this date. And then sometimes, if you're lucky, it'll show you the checkpoints at different rail stations. And then when it gets to the ramp at the nearest city that's distributing and waiting for a shipment to pick it up, then you might see it at the ramp. And the last time you'll probably see it, it'll say at the ramp. And then the next time you see it, it'll already be delivered at the dealership. So you can check with your dealer and see if they can look it up for you. The Lightning process is all online. Will one be able to see dealer markups if the dealer has any? Yes. Yep. We are required to have our pricing in there. We're supposed to have it done in October, but now they're telling us just to make sure it's in there and correct. If a dealer doesn't put theirs in there, it'll automatically default to the MSRP. But yes, it has to be in there, because when you fulfill it, you do the whole thing. You do the order. It even shows you all your fees, deposit, and everything in there. And then you click to confirm it. And then once you submit the order, it'll actually give a notification to the dealer that your order submitted. This is already the process for the Mach-E right now. So we had a Mach-E order come in the other day, and we got a notification in our webdo that we had an order to review. So once that order is submitted, we'll get a flag that order has been submitted, and we go in there, we look at it, make sure everything's good, and then we confirm it. So then it gets pushed over to Ford at that point. Any idea roughly when safety ratings typically will come out for the new? Somebody else asked me that the other day. I don't know. I know my Bronco window sticker when I got it, and there'd been Broncos on the road since July, I guess, and I still didn't have a crash rating on my window sticker, so I'm not sure how long it'll take, but so I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll be on social media. It'll be out there. There'll be an article written about it once we get safety ratings, but I would be really shocked if I don't see at least a 4 or a 5 star and everything. Ford has been really good about that on all their SUVs, smaller trucks. I'd be real shocked if I don't see a 5 star on the Maverick. That's just my opinion. I'm just ordering through. All right. If my vehicle went into production this week, can expect it to be built this week? Yes. Lariat Luxury Hybrid ordered 610. Cool. So you have a June order. That's good. Yeah. So usually the week that it's produced, like mine was built If it says your build week is this week, then it should get built this week. Usually you'll also get one that says you'll get a build day and actually tell you what day it is. And sometimes that email goes out, sometimes it gets passed over. I was able to see it on mine. I will say on the Maverick, if you have like a spray and bed liner put in or something like that, I think body shop means the spray and bed liner needs to put on. I'm not sure. And then trim, I think, means that some of those dealer installed options and other options have to be put in the vehicle. And so sometimes it hits a couple places if you have some accessories and things and be put on, or spray and liner and that kind of thing. So sometimes it gets produced one day, gets built one day, and sometimes then it goes over to the body shop is what they call it, and then sometimes the trim shop before it goes out. So sometimes it could be a 3-day process for that on the trucks. So just keep that in mind. But then it should get shipped out. So if you have a build week, usually I figure, if you have a build week this week, figure about 4 weeks from this week of when it should show up at the dealership. You should be pretty close there. If you have a Lightning reservation and the dealer has ADM, can you still change dealers? Or yes, you can. You can change dealers. So definitely want to make sure you get with your dealership now, find out what they're going to do, and say, I need to know now, because if you're not going to honor MSRP and I don't know what your dealer fees are, I want to know that now, because if not, I want to switch dealers. And so you want to definitely get a hold of your dealers now so you can get that all figured out. All right. Crazy World, do you think all other models are going to end up like the Mach-E and Lightning, where you do everything online and it gets confirmed? I don't know. I think that's kind of more of an EV model. An all-electric model. We see that. I think really Tesla started that model, and Ford kind of on the Mach-E wanted to kind of follow suit with that, and we see that with the Lightning, but we're not seeing it with the others. So I don't know. I mean, as some of these vehicles, especially when it's a higher demand, I don't know. Sometimes it's, I guess not. I say, sometimes it's always good to get the dealer's input on some of these things, because there are some things that we know as dealers. But the more I've been reading social media, some of the dealers seem like they're not really up on everything and all the information. So customers sometimes are just better off doing their own research, it seems like, because they don't always get that all the right information. But what's great about this is that you can do it online, but if you get in there and go, I don't know, maybe I should do this or not, at that point you can take your order offline and consult with your dealer, and then they can help you complete the order. So that's something that they did say as well. So do you have the latest number on total orders to date, or is that a state secret? And I'm not sure what number you're talking about. Since I've had some questions on Lightning as well as Maverick, I'm not sure if you're talking about Maverick, but we do have 115 Lightning reservations. I did see one canceled today, or one's going to cancel. I know that for a fact. When it comes to Maverick, we have 282 still unscheduled. So in total numbers, I don't know, because we're up over 500 Maverick orders at this point, I believe, in total. But some of the Maverick orders, they drop off once they actually show up at the dealers at a webdo. So like I said, we had 430 orders in there that were either in production, in transit, or unscheduled or scheduled. So we had at that time. So, but we still have 282 unscheduled orders there. All right, Hector, welcome to the live stream. Bet you're getting excited. Thanks for info, Tim. Question: first time ordering a vehicle, how long from placing order of the Lightning to delivery? Don't know. I do know that we're going to start being able to order them in January. They said start producing them in March for summer deliveries. So I'm assuming, from the time they start producing it and such. So I do know that they said, that's really cool about this, is they said that once you submit your order, it will actually give you an estimated delivery at that time, which is something that Maverick people have been asking for. And I feel bad, but they said you're going to be able to get that information when you go ahead and submit your order. It'll actually tell you, here's when you could probably expect within probably be a 4-week window, I'd assume, for that. But they did say that you would be able to get that. If I can find that, I can't remember where it was stated that in here, but it did mention that in there, that you would be able to see estimated information about that. So when you go submit your order, you'll get more information about that. Tim, are you worried that Ford will move direct order model, eliminating dealerships altogether? I'm not really worried about that. Like I said, even with the Lightning, when you go in, if you do it all online, there's going to be a lot of people still going to have questions on things, and they're still going to want, some information. And, as dealers, that's why I really think what's really essential for salespeople right now is that they get to know their product real well and get to know the ordering system really well, because I think it's going to be very important going forward, because they need to be able to help, be a consultant to people, back to being a consultant instead of, and such, to help them figure out what's the best thing to do. I feel like I've been doing a lot of that with you guys here on the live streams the last 18 weeks. And I think that's going to be very essential. And so even though they can order it online, they're still going to probably want to consult with somebody else, whether it be other people that are ordering or whether it be a dealership that's ordering for them. They really need to, hopefully people can find a great dealer that helps them, figure that out and goes through that process. So I still think, there's still going to be a delivering dealer. It's still going to happen, so they're still going to have to, they might order it online, do everything online. It'll still get delivered to the dealership. The dealership will help deliver that to the customers, and go through the information on there and go through and teach them how to use things and everything, and be able to deliver that vehicle to them. And I still think that's going to happen. So, Tesla might be able to do that because of the orders they have, but Ford delivers so many vehicles that it's really going to be hard for them to just be able to deliver right to their door. So I meant for all Ford. I meant all of Ford Maverick total orders. Okay. Hopefully I answered that for you, Mike. I know you had asked that earlier, and I did go through that number, so hopefully I gave you that number. All right. Any other questions? 807. So either I've been rambling or you guys have had a lot of questions given to me. So hopefully I've answered those. Let me go over to, actually didn't pull this up. Let me go into our Ford Video Guy email address. Again, if you have any questions that I don't answer that you really want answers to, keep in mind, sometimes it takes a while for me to answer some of the questions on my Ford Video Guy. I only check I've been trying to check a little bit better on Wednesdays, check some of those questions and answer some of those questions that day, but usually I won't go back and look at the Ford Video Guy emails until the next Tuesday, sometimes Monday. So, make sure if you have a sales question and you want to get a vehicle from us or something, that you reach out to the dealership here instead of the Ford Video Guy email. That's really for the live stream more than anything, and to answer some of those questions. Oh, there's a bunch of questions in here. Okay. So there's some in here I wanted to make sure I answered. All right, so Gavin asked, and I actually answered him already, but I thought it'd be good for the stream here. And it says, I ordered Cactus Gray, Maverick, Lariat, EcoBoost, all-wheel drive, Lariat luxury package, 4K tow package with my local dealership in California in August. I asked them if my order is close to being built, and they said it's still priority 19. He says, I was wondering if I ordered the same Maverick with you at Long McArthur, how long would it take to get it? So this is a question. It's a great question of how long it takes to get something. Keep in mind that it really depends on how many orders a dealership has, how those are ordered, what's on those, as well as how many allocations they're getting each month. So, if you put an EcoBoost order now, those should get built fairly quickly and get scheduled fairly quickly. We do have a couple orders, that are July, August orders on EcoBoost that haven't been scheduled. And like some of those are getting overlooked just because they have like the luxury package and such. And I think they're trying to reserve some of those, really look like from their numbers that they're trying to reserve some of those luxury packages to the hybrids right now. So I think if you have an EcoBoost order with a luxury package, unless it's a drop-in, liner one, I think sometimes they are maybe getting overlooked for some of the hybrid orders. So if you're looking to get an EcoBoost, you ordered it. Of course, if you ordered it recently, it's going to be a drop-in anyway. Probably that's if you look at some of the ones that we have, the ones, of course, all the EcoBoost all of our the luxury packages were EcoBoost on our orders, but we got on the drop-in liners. Of course, they're all November orders, so you're seeing some of those ordered that way. So of our 10, all of those were ordered in November, November, December. It looks like we even had a couple of December orders that are already scheduled. So, it really depends. So, it's hard to answer that question. So there's a lot of variables that go into it and what the factory wants to do there. Javier asked me, thanks for all your support and information you give on your live streams. I really appreciate your time. The question I have is, when I made my order on my XLT hybrid, I added the tow hitch only. Do you think this will affect the build? No. As we kind of went through these orders already, it doesn't look like, the optional hitch or the moonroof or the spare tire, any of those are affecting getting that build. So he says, also, when do you think the October order would be scheduled? Again, that's really hard for us to tell on that. There's a lot of variables that go into that and what can get scheduled there. All right. Didn't have a chance to go through these, so maybe I'll just read these on the run here. Ordered my hybrid XLT with luxury package on 10/26. I was confirmed by Ford via email and calling customer service. I don't have a build date or VIN yet. Again, October 26th, really for a lot of orders, is not that long ago. After test driving a Lariat after my order was confirmed, I decided I liked the interior better. I asked my dealer to change the order on 11/27, and he told me the options were grayed out to change the model. And I think that was probably, depends on, you try to go in there like on a Friday or a Monday. You can get, because sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some of those options, it's hard for the webdo to work because it's trying to schedule, especially Wednesday, Thursday. It seems like you can't get anything changed Wednesday, Thursday. So it could have been the day that you went in there. So try a different day and have them try it again, because there are some issues with webdo when they're trying to preview vehicles and decide what vehicles are to schedule. Sometimes things are grayed out and they're not able to change them. We've had sometimes where people are like, I can't order a tow package anymore. Well, it's not true. It's just there was a glitch during Thursday because they were trying to schedule vehicles and they didn't want people to make any changes. So that's why we had some of those issues. I think I saw one of your videos that said Ford is not allowing big changes. And if you make big changes, what it'll do is it'll change the date of your order date. So it'll move it to November 15th is what it'll do. And put it clear down to the bottom. So you definitely want to make any changes. When we talk about major changes, color is not a major change, but if you do change, it says trim, which changing it to a Lariat from an XLT is a major change. So that can affect it. Also, changing it from a hybrid to an EcoBoost can as well. So you don't want to make any of those two changes if you don't want your date to be moved. If you want that and you don't care, you're like, this is what I want, then go ahead and make the change. It's just, it will affect the date that was received. All right. Here's a Lightning reservation. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel and can't wait to get my F-150 Lightning. Just now watching your December 10th video. I understand McArthur Ford has about 100 reservations for this vehicle, 115 now. Where am I in reservation line? You can get that information. We do have that information. I'll go ahead and reach out to this person, let them know to go ahead and contact us. Actually, I got it right here. I can get that information. So I'll email you, Dawn, and let you know that right after this. So, in fact, let me go ahead and go back. All right, there we go. I'll save that as a draft. There we go. Okay, another question. Let me go over to the stream, make sure our stream's going because I'm not seeing it physically here. Are we looking here? All right, we good, everybody? Everybody doing good? All right, so just double checking the chat and everything. So I appreciate everybody still being in here with me. Looks like we got a pretty good amount of people in here still. 400. Wow, 472. I appreciate everybody being in here and watching the stream. Let's go to the chat and answer a couple questions before I go back to the emails here. Have you heard how and when the free fits kit will go out to those with hybrid orders? Probably be mailed to you. That's what happened with my Bronco. The flag behind me, I got that sent as a hang in there gift from Ford. That's pretty much what the fit system is. It's okay, hybrids are kind of going to be a little while, get those out. So we're going to send these out to you. So it'll probably come in the mail. You probably don't need to worry about it. But who knows? I'm not sure when they're going to send it out, but it'll probably be, probably wait a little bit. Probably first of the year is when they'll probably send those out. It seems like the tracking website is up and down. Any word on from Ford on why this is happening? What they've told us is that, I think I mentioned this earlier, is that they're trying to get so many out that sometimes they're not always tracked when they get pulled off. Said in the past, we had our one of our sales managers that had their vehicle. It showed on the train that it was getting close, and it got to Kansas City, and then it showed it going back up into Canada. When really it was sitting in Kansas City. So they're just trying to get a lot of them done as fast as possible. So that's what they're trying to do there. All right, so what else is holding up the hybrid XLT luxury orders? Just the spray in. Like I said, on some of those, the reason we didn't have a lot scheduled probably because they're trying to get the ones out that they can, and then so you're kind of seeing that. But as you can tell, a lot of the ones, all the hybrids, had the spray in bed liners either as a standalone option or as the Lariat luxury package. So they are going out. So it's just, again, in a smaller amount, because spray in bed liners, it's the material or something that's just holding up some of those orders. So all right. Oh, by the way, we did have the hybrids have been delivered. So just like they said, it is not December 21st yet. So hybrids and EcoBoost were delivered this fall. So Ford held to their word. Again, winter doesn't start till December 21st. So technically, even the hybrids were delivered at dealerships in the fall of 2021. So, all right. Tim, great talking to you yesterday. Did you find out if you're able to? I have not actually. Still waiting on that one order. We had an order that we're trying to see if we can get changed. That's already been scheduled, and still waiting to hear back on that one. And then we'll see if we can get yours changed as well. So, because if they say no, we can't do that at all, then I'll know, and I won't. Don't need to worry about it. But we will find out here in just a little bit. So you're on my list. Yesterday, I am looking at my window sticker and was informed that the production start date is at the bottom. Yep, 12/9/21. Yep, correct. All right. Hey, Tim, can you give me a call regarding the F-150 Lightning? Yes, actually, I think I called you the other day and left you a message. So you're on my list to reach out again. So anyway, so got a long list here, but I'll reach out to you. Is there a tutorial video on all the buttons and the like on the hybrid Lariat luxury first edition and 360? DNA needs help. I have not done a video. We haven't had a Maverick here long enough for me to be able to do a video. So hopefully we can get, I'm really excited that we're going to get a couple of stock hybrid orders. So hopefully I can get one in here and do some videos on it, as well as those EcoBoosts when they show up that are stock orders. I can do some videos, some how-tos. I do have a couple customers that said that I could do videos, test drives on their hybrid when it gets here, which should be here real soon, actually probably next week. And so hopefully I can get some videos, and I'll try to do some how-to videos as well if they're okay with that. I think one of them is going to be picking up here, so it'll be here while they're in transit. So hopefully we can get some videos done on that. So I'll try to do some tutorials for you. Hopefully that'll help out. I ordered my Maverick hybrid back in August, and I was able to call Ford, and they told me that my priority was at 10 and materials for my order were clear. What does 10 mean? So all retail orders can be either anywhere from 10 to 19. So a dealership kind of picks those numbers, and so 10 is always a good thing. The lower the number, the better. The Lightning order playbook apply to Canada as well? Will this be North America rollout? That's a good question. I think there are actually two different guides, one for Canada. And if I remember right, when I pulled this up, there was one for Canada and one for the U.S. So this is, I think, just for U.S. So I'm not sure how that relates to Canada. So sorry, can't help with that. But I think I did see Johnny in here. Maybe he can help with that, because I know he has some access to the Canada dealers, so maybe he could be able to get some information on that, and I'm sure talk about that. Thanks for all you do for us. Appreciate your passion. No problem. Now I have a VIN. Can I set up financing? You could. We like to wait because most of your financing approvals will only last 30 days and then it will have to be done again. So we usually like to wait until you get maybe a week out to getting here and getting close, because sometimes there are some delays in shipping. Occasionally that does happen. We actually had one of our salespeople here that his Bronco was supposed to be here like a month ago, and it keeps getting delayed. So, for that reason, we like to wait until it actually shows up here. So, all right. Adrian, Tim, my XLT hybrid is being built this week. Your best guess is shows up before year ends at your dealership. Probably not. I'd probably say January 1, probably. Well, no, I'd probably say middle of January. So we've found most of the we're seeing that some people are getting theirs that are down in California, Arizona, down there. They're getting theirs in about 3 weeks, but it seems like ours are holding pretty steady to the 4-week time cycle of shipping. So I would say if it's being built this week, be looking mid-January. So. If being delivered in New York, in what state do you switch from rail to tractor trailer? Usually I'm not sure about New York, but I know for us in the Midwest, Kansas City is like a distributing area. So usually it gets on a train to Kansas City, gets off there, and then it goes on a trailer to us. I'm not sure about up there in the east. I'm not sure where that would be. So sorry, I can't help you with that. All right. Okay. All right, got a little bit of time here. I don't mind going to about 8:30 or so, and let's see here if we can answer some other questions. Okay. Order change question. All right, James asked, did I get a build date this week? It's the week of February 7th. Oh, I'll have to look that up, James. Let me go ahead and put unread on that one and get back to you on that one. Like I said, if you have questions about your order with us at the dealership, try to use my email address, or your salesperson can help you out with that. All right, so Morris said a couple questions. I have heard that ordering has ended for 22 model Maverick. Is this correct? For hybrid, yes. EcoBoost, no. You can still order an EcoBoost right now. And if so, what is looking as far as time frame for the 23 model? Really looks like, they're saying 23 order guides will open up in June is what they've been telling us. So that probably holds to that. But again, I answered this to somebody. If you're wanting a hybrid, they're closed out for 22. So June of 23 is when you're going to be looking for that. If you're wanting an EcoBoost, though, you can order an EcoBoost now. And time frame really, again, depends on what allocations your dealership has. Like I said, we have about 29 allocations that need to get scheduled for EcoBoost, and then we're clear on that. And for us, that seems like a lot for some dealers, but for us, I think it could maybe be achieved in like 1 to 2 months. Actually, it does depend. We do have an order. Somebody wants to order 30 Mavericks for their fleet. If we get those, it could be a couple months. It just depends. So if you talk about financing through you, I assume you are using Ford Credit, not a local bank. We do use national lenders on that, not necessarily Ford Credit. So sometimes, if Ford Credit has special rates, sometimes we'll go through Ford Credit with you, but we always look for the best rate for you. So whatever it ends, we have 10 national banks that we use across the country. So even if you're in the West Coast, we have Bank of the West, but even if you're East Coast, we have other banks as well. Hopefully that helps out. So I actually might reply to some of these as well in case they're not on the live stream. All right. I keep getting emails from people wanting me to advertise on the stream their product. I'm not going to do it. All right. So Royce asked, I enjoyed your video last week. I wonder if you can tell me where I might get a Maverick brochure like the one you were using last week. Most of the dealerships should have them, hopefully. So just really depends on how many they have. I kept this one because I knew we might run out of them, but you might check on Ford's website. They may have a brochure. Go look at their brochures. They may have a brochure that you can get. We have some Maverick brochures as well, but the one I have is more of a marketing guide, and it's a little bit easier for me to get through and understand than the brochure. Is not hard to understand. It's just I can find things a little quicker in the marketing guide. I ordered another Maverick last week, a Lariat with a 2.0 EcoBoost engine. These are two major changes I noticed. First edition package showed no longer available, correct? And the Rapid Red was only available in first edition, so it wouldn't be available either. So that's correct. Any guesses on when you might expect delivery on this? Just ordering. Again, I mentioned it earlier, it really depends on allocations, what you ordered, that kind of thing on your vehicle. If you don't get a luxury package, it's going to come a little bit quicker probably. All right. How's the stream going here? All right, a couple other questions. Could we ever have a guest on your live stream? I could probably get some sales guys. I actually had one salesperson was here, and the stream was about ready to start. He says, "Do you want me to be a guest star on your show?" And I was like, "Well, you want to?" The most people are a little intimidated by it. So being live is a little different than being recorded and being able to redo it. But maybe I'll try to get Mike in here if I can get him. So sometimes he's still around, but Tuesday is actually his day off. So, but some nights he's still here at 6 o'clock. He doesn't go home. When it says in production, what is the average wait time now? Really, I mean, as long as it can be done right away. Usually, once it says in production, that could be when it's scheduled. So, even once a vehicle gets scheduled, it'll say a lot of times it'll say in production. So that could still be, like any of the vehicles that are scheduled for the week of the February 7th to the 14th may say in production. So it can be a little while. So once you get that production date of when it is, that's when you really want to start saying, okay, well, mine's supposed to be built the week of February 14th. Okay, you figure that's the week it's going to be built. So figure about 4 weeks after that, and it's been working pretty closely to that. So that's really what you need to look at, not necessarily when it says in production. So there can be a lot of things that happen when it's in production. I really wish they would change some of that terminology sometimes. It might make it a little bit easier. Could you please address the problem with mom and pop people not getting no allocations at all at their Ford stores? I have a theory on this because I really think that there could be a couple different reasons for this. For one is maybe because they have a small amount of allocations, but as long as they have orders and COVP, ROVP when it comes to Maverick, they should be looking at that, and Ford should be giving them allocations as long as they have an order there. My fear here is that some of those smaller dealerships don't know how to order their vehicles and didn't submit the documents correctly. And that order is sitting there and it's never going to get looked at until Ford receives the documents through ROVP. So I did a video on this several months ago about that. So you might check that video out under our Maverick playlist. Check that out on our YouTube channel. Maybe that you can go to your dealership and help them with that. And maybe, if anything, ask them, hey, can you show me my ROVP approval? And if they don't know what ROVP means, that's a red flag. So you might then say, can I talk to a sales manager and ask them? Because there's a certain way these orders have to be submitted. And one of the things that our Ford reps telling us when they come in to do wholesale is, we're only going to, here's your numbers, but this isn't considering your COVP/ROVP orders yet. We'll take in consideration those. So if you don't submit those custom orders through that system, those orders won't be looked at. They'll pass them up. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to get off the wagon now, but that's my opinion on that. I think some of the smaller dealerships aren't ordering them correctly, don't know how to order them, they don't do enough of them. Maybe they're not aware of that. Sometimes our Ford rep works closer to the bigger dealerships because they're getting more orders. And so that might have something to do with it. So anyway, so hopefully that helps out. There's a $299 dealership fee and a $99 admin fee. Is there also a dock fee? Ours is the same. So ours is actually a $299, not a $99. So we have a $299 dock fee. It's the same thing as a dealership fee. We have a $99 fee for X-Plan orders. They Ford requires us to do a $299. They cap it at that. So anyway, hopefully that helps out that question. All right, how we doing? Let me keep going. We still got a lot of people in here, so I can keep going if you guys want me to answer some of these email questions. Hopefully you guys are learning some things. Here's one, a question. Subject is Maverick Hybrid ROVB. Oh, that's a long one. Probably gonna have to answer that one. There's some stuff about verification, which I just talked about. So good timing there. So I'll probably have to email Brian back here on that one there. So I'll just email you back. Somebody has asked about the graphic from the truck that we showed that we did a lift on for a customer, and the graphic on the side. And that is actually a graphic that he found online somewhere. So I'm trying to get that information from him. He hasn't emailed me back yet, but I do want to try to get that information and give you guys a link to that where he found that, because a lot of people like that graphic, and I want to get that information to you. But right now, until I get that from him, and I actually did email you back, Pat. So hopefully you did see that. So anyway, so I did actually email you back. So I'm waiting to get that information back. I have a build date for week of February 7th. Any chance they can move that up to an earlier build date? Probably not. So usually, if anything, they'll move it back. They usually don't move it up. So I answered that. Maverick tire upgrade. Probably won't be able to answer this. Your dealership put a lift kit and larger wheels on a Maverick. How did you get the Speedo work? Actually, we didn't. They were not available for the Maverick yet. So we kind of had figured in the difference. And what's a great thing to do, and like right now, my truck, my F-150, had a Hypertech speedometer recalibration put on it, and it was making my screen go all wonky and really weird and doing some weird things, and could not get it to do anything. They couldn't fix it. They took off the speedometer recalibration. It went away. So I said, leave it off because maybe I got a bad one or something, but I just know that mine's 3 miles off. Anything under 40 miles an hour, I get on the highway, I know it's about 5 miles off. So I just figure that out on my own. Now, I do know that they do have recalibrations on Bronco now available. So they're being putting those on. And so eventually we'll get them for Maverick as well. And then we can put those on. So he said, I live in Southern California, and Galpin Ford has 14 Mavericks on their lot for sale. Wow. So 14 not taken. That's gotta wonder. They are a very large dealership. I ordered my Maverick on July 3rd from Jim Burke Ford in Bakersfield. They told me I had a VIN number last month and it should get delivered any day now. Oh, good. Congratulations. But yeah, on that, if you want to put in the bigger tires, there probably will be some recalibrations available. Hypertech is a company that usually does those. They're usually where we get a lot of ours from, so you might check that out on their website and see if that is going to be available for them. All right. Advice on ordering hard roll-up bed cover. First, Tuesday YouTube videos are important. I was wondering if you could give me some advice on adding a hard roll-up for my Maverick, since I wasn't able to add it to my order. Could you recommend a good aftermarket replacement? Or the ones that we have, I can't remember the brand now, off the top of my head. I can't remember. There's several good brands out there, and if you go straight through Ford Accessories, you can order them through Ford Accessories. And then your Ford parts department should be able to order them as well. So, although I say that, but then we had the hybrid order that was delivered. They went to their local dealer, and their dealership hadn't seen a Maverick and didn't know how to order it, even though there's part numbers for these that they could order. So, I guess not all can, but it should be a part number available. Ford, your accessories department, you can get a Ford accessories.ford.com. Should be able to order them as well. You can have them delivered right to your door, order it straight on their website. You could probably install it yourself. If not, get the bed cover, take it into your local Ford dealership and say, can you install this for me? Probably charge you an hour of labor, and then they should be able to install it for you. So try that out. Hopefully that works for you. All right, how we doing here on the live stream? Everybody still with me? How long after you get production date Maverick will be? Okay, I think I answered that. All right. We'll keep going as long as you guys indulge me here. Excuse me. There, get a swig of the G Fuel. Excuse me. Old episodes and dealers. Okay, is there a place I can find old video episodes of your Tuesday night video cast? They are on our YouTube channel. If you want to listen to the podcast, we have that on our website at lawmcarthur.com/fordvideoguy. You can check them there, but they are on our YouTube channel. Sometimes I know on mine, I should be able to, let's just check it out here. I am on the stream here. So if you go to our YouTube channel, of course, youtube.com/lawmcarthur to get to our channel. And let's just look at this here. You can just go through, and I do actually put them all in a playlist. So there's a playlist called Live Ford Weekly News Updates. I might retitle that to just live streams, but if you click in there, all of them are in there in a playlist. So when I'm looking at it right now, it's the first playlist popping up, because the most recent video that has a playlist, that playlist usually will move to the front. At least I think that's how it works. So anyway, you should be able to find that playlist in there and be able to watch those right in there. Also, I'm going to order some accessories from your for my future Maverick January 10th build date, and have them dealer installed. But when I try to select my dealer, they are not listed. Other dealers close to me are listed. Any idea why? Probably because they're not a certified Ford accessories dealer. I think they do have to sign up as being a Ford accessories dealer like we are, and maybe that's why they're not listed. And that's probably that other customer probably had issues for that same reason. Hopefully, I'm going to try to email you back just to make sure you get your answers there. So that was Larry. All right. Maverick chip shortage. My Maverick Lariat Deluxe with an EcoBoost engine had a build week of 11/29, and I received a window sticker on 11/26. According to the vehicle visibility report, it went through the body shop on 12/3 and the trim line 12/6. At the same time, on 12/6, it went into chip hold status. And we talked about that already, and it's been there ever since. I had a Bronco Sport that had a chip issue in June of this year, and then the FDM recall in July, and it took delivery of it this past Thursday. Not wanting to go through the same thing again if I can avoid it. Well, at this point, really, there's not much we can do, but I don't think you're going to have to wait that long. So should be able to get those. Like I said, I'd heard that they were getting those, so we shouldn't have any issues. Hopefully, it shouldn't be much longer. 6th was just about a week ago, so hopefully you get an email here real soon that it's being shipped out. So I'll cross our fingers, Charlie. Some of these I want to make sure, in case they're not on the live stream, that I go ahead and reply back to them. So I'm going to kind of hold those. All right. So somebody, spray and bed liner. My dealership called me today saying that Ford removed spray and bed liner from luxury package. That is, have you heard anything yet? They've removed it from any orders future, not from current orders. So if you have an order with a spray and bed liner and XLT luxury package, you will get that spray and bed liner with the luxury package. As you can see, we went through that data just a little bit ago, so that is not going to be an issue. If you had one ordered, you're going to get them scheduled. There's not a 6-month delay or anything like that. Don't worry, you can get it. You do not have to switch to the drop-in liner if you don't want to. I'll reply to you too as well. Make sure you get that. So, quite a few in here still. Let's see here. All right. So some of these are redone. I hate to bore everybody there. Okay, that one I just answered. Okay, that one I'm just going to reply personally because that one's on order with us. So I'll reply to them. All right, I ordered my Lariat in June. Do you see any builds with the hood and film and fender film? Yes. Okay, so let's look at this over here. We did have some. Like I said, I tracked everything. I'm not going to pop up the screen on this one, but production and film, we did have, go down the bottom, 4 of our orders did have that on there. So I don't think that that's a delay for your order. There might be something else on there, or being it maybe was a hybrid, and that's why you're still seeing a June order in there. We still have a couple, I still have about 10 June orders, hybrids that have not been scheduled. So that could be why. All right. Another one with that. So actually, this is the same person. All right, I'll delete that one. Oops. Okay. Will there be any pre-November fit? Okay. Appreciate you, Tim. Can anyone who ordered a hybrid Maverick before November 15th feel confident they will get a 22 model? Yes. Yes. Or do you think some may be pushed to 23? I really think that they shouldn't be. Now, we do see sometimes there is, and I say that in pretty much a confidence, because they stop the orders at a certain time, and sometimes you'll see that, you know, Ford will like keep going with orders, and then they'll close it out like a month before they start with the next model year, and sometimes those orders do get pushed. I will say that, but with them stopping it in November, I still think they're confident that the reason they stopped it was to make sure they got everything built. So maybe there's some. I think that if you got an order in October, any time in October, I think you should feel confident. Yes, no problem. I think my personal opinion is I think most of November's will be, unless they have some issues. If they have some issues with something, you know, this fall, I mean, we still have, you know, it's December yet, and they still have 5 more months of, you know, hybrid production. Something could happen. You know, who knows? We may have some more issues with COVID or something. I mean, who knows what happens? It's hard to tell what's coming up. But I think if they're able to keep producing like they have been, like they are right now this month, and hopefully be able to pick it up even more in January, and go on further, I really feel confident that anything that's been ordered will be 22 model year, and they won't get pushed to 23. If anything, maybe the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, maybe a couple orders. But I think most of everything's going to get built as 22s, and I think the reason I feel that way is because they closed it out so early to make sure they got those built. My opinion. All right. Seth asked, in your stream tonight, you mentioned you still had 253 hybrids that still need to be scheduled. I deducted the numbers you gave from each month and came up a little short. Oh, okay. Well, I will say this. The numbers I put that I had, of course, you can't see my notepad. At the bottom, those numbers, those were done a different day. So I would be surprised if some of those numbers got moved a little bit. So the numbers up above I did on the 10th, but the numbers below I did yesterday, I believe. So those numbers could be a little off and may not add up completely. Like we had 253 hybrids. And yeah, I can't do math while I'm live. So it may not quite add up, but I do have a bunch of little marks. So I was kind of like trying to do the best I can to keep counting, because going through all those orders took a little while. But anyway, so you came up with 105 instead of 253 minus all those equals 105. I'm not sure. I might have messed something up. Oh, and I think some of those unscheduled, most of those should have been retail. We can put a stock order in, but we're not going to get it one built. But anyway, let's see. My other numbers I had, the breakdown was 20, 148, and 85. So that's 105 and 148. That's pretty close, I think. That adds up, 253. So the trim breakdown is right. So I must have missed something on the June. I think I had 11 in June, 53. That's 11, 53, 26. Anyway, I'm not sure, but so might have got something off. And I don't think I have. I don't have this. Well, because you can't order this one in December. I'm not sure how I got off on that, but I did. Sorry about that. But I'll have to do some more recalculations there. But all right. Thanks for double checking my math there, but I probably did get something wrong. All right. Well, appreciate everybody. And I didn't answer all the questions here. I'll try to reply to anybody else that I didn't answer in the live stream here. There's a couple of redundant questions, but I want to make sure you get answers to those. So I'll kind of respond to those. But anyway, so again, thanks for everybody joining the live stream. Johnny, thanks for joining me too. I appreciate how you've been answering the people in here. Appreciate that. And I missed a couple of your recent videos. I definitely I had a couple that I watched, and then some things happened while I was at home. So anyway, so I'll try to get in there and watch those. But I appreciate Johnny. And if you haven't watched his videos, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, it's a good channel as well. He does a really good job of giving you information there. You can see it in there with one in there. And definitely check that out if you haven't before. And but again, also don't forget, I'll give you do all the things that I normally do at the end of my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And has everybody hit the like button? So make sure you hit the like button before you leave the video. I still have 198 likes and over 400 people in here. So make sure you smash that like button real quick. If you need to, I'll wait and hold on for you. No, just kidding. So go ahead and smash that like button. I really appreciate it. And if you're wanting information on our membership, don't forget, hit that join button. You can learn a little bit more about that. I actually about ready to do a video this week, and I actually got okayed. I'm going to be getting an assistant to help me out. So help me out with some editing and some other of my tasks so that I can do more videos and drive more stuff. We want to start doing some videos over on Facebook as well. So on our Law McArthur Facebook page. So we're gonna hire an assistant to help me out and take some of the tasks off my hand that I do on a daily basis so that I can do more videos and such. And that includes more videos for our members. So if you want to look at that, check that out. I do have these notebooks. Been using this one here that I send out to members. So you do have to be a member to get one of this, but you go in there, there's a video in there, tells you a little bit more about that once you become a member. So if you want to become a member, go ahead and do that. So I really appreciate it. And again, thanks for everybody joining me here. Been a lot of people, so I really appreciate everything. I appreciate all the questions as well. And looks like we're going to be doing this another week. So until next week, we'll see you later. Hopefully you have a great week. And if you're expecting some allocations or some orders, if you have an order with Law McArthur, we don't have any left. So we're looking for January build dates. Or scheduled dates, so that'll be coming up here in the future. So good luck with that, and hope you have a great week this week. And until next week, we'll see you later. Have a great day.